This is Meteorologist Matthew East, and thanks for clicking out of this Thursday edition of the Carolina weather video. A lot to talk about here in our upcoming weather pattern. This is the look here at the sea level pressure from across the lower 48. A couple features jump out at you here. First of all, a nice low pressure area here over the central part of the country. That's been causing some snow in parts of Nebraska and Kansas last night into this morning. And the other thing that's really a big player for our weather is this very strong high pressure area. That is a 1040 millibar high that's really wedging very nicely down the eastern side of the Appalachians. And really we're going to see a classic cold air damming event unfold for us here in the Carolinas. And you can see the result in the temperature pattern of that cooler air draining down the eastern side of the mountains. Again, this is a classic wedge or Carolina cold air damming type of event. It's going to begin taking shape for us. In terms of the radar, across the lower 48, again, this has been snow back in the colder air on the backside of that big low pressure area. And things are dry for the eastern seaboard now, but we're watching a developing area of low pressure here near the northern Gulf of Mexico, and rain will really be breaking out and increasing in coverage today across the deep south and the Tennessee Valley. Here's how things unfold on the upper air charts. This is off the 0Z run of the GFS. I think it's handling things fairly well. And there's that cutoff low over the plain states. And notice a little bit of a ridge today. That's why we'll still have a dry day today here across our region, but that will change. That low pressure area at the surface develops along the Gulf, spreads rain in here, and then the system lifts out. By the time we get deeper into the weekend. This is my Sunday. Notice we're sort of in between systems, but notice a big charge of cold air moving through the northern part of the country. And here's the upper air map as we get on into the day there on, let's look at the upper air map. This is on Tuesday. Yeah, this is the Tuesday upper air map, and notice that is a big trough across the eastern part of the country. Source regions really straight from the Arctic. The European model also in agreement, nice trough across the eastern United States coming, and a lot of cold air coming for the eastern half of the country with that big trough. So let's show you how things unfold here. All right, this is off of, again, the 0Z run of the GFS. This is 2 o'clock this afternoon. Some high clouds filling in here, that high pressure wedging very nicely down the eastern side of the mountains. Moisture riding up and over that in the form of a cloud cover today. And the clouds really thicken up for us tonight. The rain spreads in tomorrow, and this is going to be a chilly rain. The air mass very dry and cool initially, and this is probably a scenario where in the Piedmont of North Carolina we see temperatures in the 50s at best for highs tomorrow, and then we'll see maybe even some spots try to drop down toward the upper 40s for current temperatures as that rain begins to fall and as it gets fairly heavy at times tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So the rain arrives tomorrow, Friday. It will rain through the night, tomorrow night, and into Saturday morning. The rain probably ends at some point during the day Saturday, probably during the first half of the day from southwest to northeast, and then the system completely gone as we get on into Sunday. This is the GFS accumulated precipitation there, those shades of purple. That's over 1.5 inches of rain for the western half of North Carolina, or western third, really, of North Carolina. And that's the HPC, the Hydrometeorological Prediction Center's QPF map, and a large portion of the southeast, all the way from southeastern Alabama up through Georgia, western South Carolina, and into North Carolina. At least 1.5 inches and probably 2 inches of rain being indicated. So this should be a nice soaking rain event for us here in the Piedmont. I think at least 1 inch, and maybe some spots picking up over 2 inches of rain between tomorrow and Saturday. All right, going out further in time, back to the model data here. Here we are on Monday, big charge of cold air advancing down through the plain states, and this is going to be a significant push of cold air. And here we are finally on Tuesday. The cold air rushes in here. Yep, those are upslope snow showers there up in the mountains from western Maryland and the Virginias down into northwestern North Carolina. And here we are out to Thursday morning, high pressure sitting directly overhead, and that'll be a good radiational cooling night. So in terms of the blast of cold air next week, I think it's going to be very significant. We might see some spots struggle to make it into the lower 50s on Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon. and I think a widespread freeze coming, if not Wednesday morning, then certainly Thursday morning across the Piedmont. So this is a significant blast of cold air coming, and there's your average first fall freeze date there. And again, for the city of Charlotte itself, the average first freeze is in the first week of November. For the Triad, it's between the 21st and the 31st of October. And I think we will see, indeed, for the Charlotte, Raleigh, and Triad zones, the first fall freeze coming up next week. So be aware of that. All right, that's it for this edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everyone have a wonderful Thursday, and God bless.